Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Johnson, and with me is Evelyn Model. We are your co-hosts for the Interplay Podcast, a place where we ask and answer questions about everything non-speaking. If you're an individual who is non-speaking or unreliably speaking, or know someone who is, this podcast is for you. Come join us as we chat about the things that we have learned from the true experts, the autistics themselves, and listen in when we interview parents, researchers, and more.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Interplay Podcast. We have some very special guests with us today, and I'm going to turn it over to this handsome gentleman and let him give the introductions.
I am happy to be here. Please meet the smart, powerful, and funny Catherine McAllister. I am Nico Segreira, and I hope you enjoy a little bit of a beautiful story.
Thank you, Nico. Well, along with Kat and Nico are their moms, Erin and Laura. Many of you guys likely remember Erin and Kat from one of our previous episodes about unreliable speakers. We've had a lot of wonderful feedback, and so many people have expressed how much they have learned, not only about unreliable speakers in general, but about their own children. So thank you guys so much for doing that, and thank you for being back with us today. We invited Kat and Nico to talk to us today about relationships. They have been in a relationship for about 6 months, and the questions have been flying in from their friends. Questions about how they met, if they have gone on dates, and also questions about how they manage their time when they're together. So I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity for them to share some of these their answers with us today. And I think it would be great to start out with kind of your story, your journey, how you guys met and how things got going.
Of course. So here's a little bit of what Nico had to share. He said, I always loved seeing two vivacious people able to amaze the world with their tenacity. After watching Miss Erin and Kat present on Zoom to our community, I was in awe to witness such strong women forge a path for millions like myself. It gives me a sense of pride and hope. That was when I first laid my eyes on Kat. Several months later, we saw each other again through Zoom. This time, the audience was much bigger. Again, so impressed with their presentation, a rare glimpse into the world of an unreliable speaker. All for making new friends, I had an idea to start a weekly meet where spellers all over the world can hang out, get to know one another. I swear, we have the coolest group of friends. This is how Kat and I met again.
That is so awesome. Do you want to add on to that story, Kat?
Well, I think she would like to. Wait, I forgot my introduction.
Well, a little bit of something she said previously. I think that no one understands a story like ours. I would like to tell parents that they intensely need to chill about their kids
I
dating.
said hell out. I thought you said hell, wait.
So, fast forward to the story. She spelled, Nico and I were already together by the time lovely Laura and Erin arranged brunch in Florida. Nico had brought me gifts from Brazil, so I knew he liked me. So it really wasn't too risky because I was paying attention. And then she closed by saying,
Hi, this is Shelly Carnes.
I only hope that Nico is ready to ride. So back to you.
Wow, you guys. So it sounds like, you guys don't live in the same state. So you have to make efforts to communicate, and great efforts to see one another, right? So from a standpoint of parents, CRP, you guys were able to connect through this weekly meetup that Nico kind of put together, which is super cool. But then to be able to allow this to flourish really needed the support of your parents, right? I know Nico mentioned a little bit about needing the communication support. Nico, can you share what you said about that?
Hi, I'm Shil.
Yes, of course. So he had quite a bit to share about time management, actually. So he started by saying, now, needing support to communicate sucks, but we have the most amazing moms and CRPs out there. Love what is capable when the right support are in place. Low standards and low expectations have no place in our world, other than seeing them as something to overcome. From the moment Kat asked me out, life could have been more sweet. Living in two different states sure complicates things from a date perspective. Lucky for me, we finally got a chance to meet in person over the holidays. Please let me tell you how exciting and terrifying that was. I sweat now just remembering. My hands wanted to hold her hands. Usually, it's easy to hold someone's hand, but not this time. My nerves got the best of me.
Oh boy. You know, I bet everybody can feel that same excitement and nerve-wracking feeling of just being overcome. You know, I think that's, you know, I guess part of being human, right? It's excitement and scary all at once. So, you know, I think that thinking back to what some of your friends were asking about, it sounds like you guys have gone out on some dates. You guys went out over the holidays, right? And I think Kat mentioned you guys went to brunch. Have you guys gone on other dates other than that?
So Nico said, I had the opportunity to spend spring break with her in Atlanta. Tell me about being lucky.
That is pretty awesome, buddy. Let's see what Kat has to say.
and Cat spelled, I really hold in my heart that time at Piedmont Park with Nico and our families.
So you
In
have, so
Atlanta when you guys came for spring break.
that's awesome. So that was a special date out, huh, at Piedmont Park. You know what I think one of the things I think is important for us to talk about and highlight is the fact that, you know, in our community, we talk a lot about presuming competence, right? We talk about presuming competence intellectually. We talk about presuming competence in the body when it comes to fitness and movement. But one of the things that isn't really talked about so much is presuming competence beyond those things, and when it comes to relationships and what that looks like, and the fact that you guys are so willing to kind of delve into that topic and share, I think is super important. And I don't know if the moms want to like weigh in at all about this, but just about maybe I don't know, your take on presuming competence when it comes to relationships.
Yeah,
Hi, this is Shelly.
I remember Catherine and I presented a year or so ago about presuming competence at the Innovations in Education in our presentation.
Was in Shelly Carnes.
Catherine said, I asked her, what does presuming competence mean to you? And at that time she spelled, and this was way before her and Nico became boyfriend girlfriend. She spelled, to believe one universal overarching tenet. We are strong, competent individuals who can do anything that you can with the right people supporting us.
Yes.
I've always thought to myself that,
Shelly Carnes and the Murders.
well, of course, right? I mean, I've always been there to support Catherine's educational competence, and at so many of these other levels. But now that I look back at it, at the last 6 months or so, and her relationship with Nico has come to fruition, it really brings that that definition to a whole new level for me.
Yeah. And I'm sure, just like any parent of a teenager, dating is like tricky. It's excitement, but then as a parent, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much to think about. What about you, Laura?
Hi, I'm Shelly Carnes and the Murders by Shelly Carnes and the Murders.
Yeah, I think that is certainly a I think when you start the journey, which our journey hasn't really, we're coming up on a year and a half of spelling to communicate. So it as a mom, it's been a year and a half since I really had to stop assuming what he wants, what he likes, and a year and a half of really having the opportunity to get to know my son. So that moving the journey from, okay, so what do you like? Let's not do what I like, let's do what you like. And putting myself aside and letting him live his life and his journey and making a path for himself. That is already extremely exciting for a parent with a kid, a non-speaker, really. So everything is fireworks from the moment. Every single day it's a party. Every single day we're celebrating something. And the moment that Cat ask him out, or that he say, yes, I would like to come back from our holidays earlier, I want to go out with his girl, my wants and my desires are definitely put aside. And now we are making a schedule, a calendar that it is about you. And to your point, Evelyn, earlier, I think for parents watching their young adults date, it's already a tricky situation, and parenting doesn't have a book. So so we throw, hey, I don't really like this, I don't like any of these things that we usually do. I like all of these things, and hey, by the way, I really want to go out with a girl. So sorry about, but can you change the plane ticket? So yeah, I think that's definitely an exciting part, and the most exciting part is really just taking the back seat and letting him drive. It's so much fun to just letting him take his journey.
Yeah, I think kind of like what you guys both said, even, you know, you have to support their communication, right? And you're excited for what's happening and letting them, take the lead. But they also do need both, and Nico mentioned it, and Kat, you both mentioned it, having the right supports is vital, right? So, it seems like, you've got your moms on board and you guys are able to communicate with them and let them know what's going on. And it sounds like you guys have like get to meet on Zoom and really talk about what are the things that you like to do. So kind of to piggyback on that, I would like to know, like based on the relationship that you have or what you foresee in the future, what do you guys want in a romantic relationship? I'll give you guys time.
Hi, I'm Shirley Carnes.
So Kat said, I'm not sure because I've never had one. I may decide as it happens. But that's a great piggyback on something that she had spelled a week or two ago.
Hi, I'm Shirley Carnes.
When we first talked about, what is your story, Catherine and Nico's story, she had said, I don't know, it's about two young people searching for a deeper level of intimacy that we have yet to experience. So
yeah, and that's fair. I loved, the idea of the question, but yeah, in terms of where you're coming from, yeah, this is new. It's uncharted waters, and you are looking to see. You're not, making predictions or this or that. You're really looking to find what's going to work for you and what's going to work for you and Nico together. Want Nico to share?
Hi, this is Shirley Carnes and the Murders.
Yes, so Nico said, I am a dreamer and also a romantic. I understand how hard this can be for outsiders to understand. One date, fun, dance, and continuous spiritual growth.
Ooh, beautiful. So, you guys, I feel like, I have so many questions for both of you still, and even for the moms. Because I'm looking at it from our audience's perspective, and I know that your friends are very interested in hearing, your story and getting to know a little bit more about, the intricacies and ins and outs of everything. But I also feel like the other part of our audience, the parents, the CRPs out there, I feel like they might want to know a little bit from you guys about how you're able to foster this relationship. Because knowing that we are, we've got some unreliable speaker, we got, Cat's self-proclaimed unreliable speaker, and we've got unreliable bodies and impulsive bodies. How does that all come together? I think honestly that is probably a lot that we can talk about for a whole nother episode. So I think maybe what we can do today is kind of say, let's pick up this conversation and on another podcast. If you guys don't mind coming back, I think it would be really helpful for people to understand really how to support the relationship, because both of you guys mentioned that needing the right supports. And then when you're together, Nico, one of the things that you mentioned was how you really wanted to hold her hand. And usually holding people's hands is kind of an easy thing for you, but your nerves really got the best of you, and it was so hard you couldn't do it. So I think that let's come back to this. Let's do another episode together and kind of talk about how you guys want to be supported, and maybe how you moms have kind of worked through some of this to support them in what they've got so far. What do you think of that? Good, give me a thumbs up. Nico, tell us.
Good.
I think that's great, Evelyn.
Hi, this is Shirley.
I had asked Catherine right before we logged on if there was like one thing that she'd like the listeners to take away from this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is Miss Shirley Carnes and the Murders.
She spelled care really about your kids' wants and desires as much as their educations, therapies, and the rest.
Hi, Shirley Carnes and the Murders.
That's beautiful, Catherine, because we got to look at it as the whole person, right? And when you say care, and you're just speaking to parents specifically about their child, like the whole child, not just the, school part or, fitness, but everything. What did Nico say?
Nico said, sounds fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm so glad we're all on the same page. Well, thank you all for joining us today and for enlightening our viewers, your friends, and I feel like we have so much more to explore in this area, and I think that we can make real change together, and enlighten people so that they too can find and experience a beautiful relationship like you guys have found together. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast, and we will see you soon for round 2 of Presuming Competence Beyond Intellectual Capabilities. See you soon.